Veronica Carlson is an English actress and model, especially known for her many appearances in horror films. There are several secrets that you've probably never heard about this beautiful actress, but her life was rather different from the characters that she portrayed on screen. Now, before we get into the secrets behind Veronica's life, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment saying I subscribed. We're going to respond to your comment as soon as possible. Early childhood in Germany. Veronica was born into a very creative family, so it's always made sense that her acting career would develop from her early childhood. In 1944, Veronica was born in Yorkshire, England. Her full name is Veronica Mary Glazer. Although she was born in Yorkshire, her family soon moved to Germany, where her father was stationed. Veronica spent most of her childhood in Germany, and during this time she'd learned to speak both English and German fluidly. Now, even at such a young age, Veronica loved to watch movies and dreamed of a day when she too could become an actress. She had a comfortable upbringing, but she was not spoiled because her family was of the lower middle class. Although her parents had enough money to send her to boarding school for her primary and secondary education, they could not afford to fund her undergraduate education. Acting school? Back in England. Before enrolling into an art school as an actress, Veronica had participated in several plays during her boarding school years. Her talent was soon recognized by her teachers, who had gathered much of their knowledge and experience about acting at this location. Now, at her stage debut, Kate made her professional acting debut in her role, The Merchant of Venice. Because it was hard for her to get roles in film and TV, she continued to act in the theater for years. The competition was fierce, as many young women were constantly competing for the same roles as her. Now, this lasted for about 6 years. After that, she started appearing in small horror roles in movies like Smashing Time and Hammerhead. Now, even though these roles were smaller, they helped Veronica learn a lot. She met many new people who had connections that she needed to pursue a more prominent and well-paid acting career. Finally noticed for her talents. So after appearing in several smaller horror films, Veronica was finally spotted by Hammer Films CEO James Carreras. He was taken aback by Veronica's unique beauty and also her acting talents. He wanted to do everything he could to sign her up with Hammer Productions. Now, this was certainly a huge opportunity for Veronica, and one that she did not want to give up on. However, horror films were not spoken highly of at the time. After all, she wanted to be a real actress, someone who was known on the big screen for romantic scenes and drama. At the time, she didn't feel that horror movies would be able to give her the same passion for her work. Luckily, after some deliberation on her part, Veronica agreed and decided to sign a contract with Hammer Productions. First major horror movie appearance. So the very first role that Veronica was offered after signing up with Hammer was the role of a distressed woman alongside Christopher Lee in the movie Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. She did an exceptional job in this movie and quickly gathered many fans who wanted to see her play as many different characters as possible. Now, it turned out that the horror genre could in fact provide Veronica with all the excitement and creativity as any other genre could, so she decided to continue her career with a focus on the horror genre. Now, soon she appeared in several other Hammer productions, including Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed and The Horror of Frankenstein. Although they were horror movies, they were all critically acclaimed and attracted a large audience from around the world. A move into the world of drama. Now, even though she loved horror and met many amazing people while on the set of these films, something deep within Veronica made her long for the genre of drama. After all, this genre was her first love way back in Germany, and she wanted to at least try and pursue it before her acting career was over. Veronica was offered several roles in drama and thriller series, including Randall and Hopkirk, The Saint, and Department S. Her performances in each of the series were very exciting, but it turned out that she did not bring as much joy to her fans as she did when she was involved in the horror productions. Still, she wanted it to give everything another try before calling it quits. So one of her biggest roles away from the horror genre was her performance as one of the 4 main characters in the thriller series, Spider's Web. Now, she appeared along with many other famous actors for this series, and overall it seemed that the series was going to be a success. However, after a few seasons, the fire died out, and the audience was no longer interested in following the lives of these characters. Somewhat early retirement. Veronica decided to go into retirement in the late 1970s. She had fallen out of love with the entertainment industry and no longer wanted to be a part of it if she absolutely didn't need to. Drama was her first love, yet she couldn't pursue a full career in the genre to the extent that she wanted to. Horror ended up being the genre that she was best at, but there were many things missing from it that she felt were lacking from her acting career. So she got married, moved permanently to the United States to live with her husband in South Carolina. Very little is really known about her private life because Veronica refused to give any further interviews about her acting career. Now, what is known is that she and her husband had 3 children together in South Carolina, and that Veronica has chosen a very dramatic change of career. Namely, a few years after retirement, Veronica decided to become a professional painter. Veronica had always loved the performing arts, and painting was simply another way for her to express her talents. She's been painting as a professional now for several decades and shows no signs of stopping or changing her career again. She did, however, return to acting just one more time. In 2019, Veronica came out of retirement to star in the Hammer Productions movie House of the Gorgon. She was accompanied by several of her famous colleagues, including Caroline Munro, Martine Baswick, and Christopher Neame. Now, the movie was absolutely loved by lovers of the horror genre, who were delighted to see so many of their favorite horror actors back in one movie together. Veronica described her return to acting as delightful, although mostly because she was very excited to see her colleagues again. On the other hand, when it came to the horror genre, it seems that she was set on never returning to it again. The horror genre had given much to Veronica's career, but she was simply no longer in the same headspace as she was back then. Now, she enjoys her time in retirement with her family and focusing on her new career as a painter. Perhaps it isn't surprising that actors often turn to painting during or after their movie careers. So are you a fan of the horror genre? Do you enjoy Veronica Carlson's work? Which movies caught your interest the most? Let us know in the comments below, and check out the next video in the series.